Welcome to the Trudy Lite Show with your host, international celebrity life coach to the stars, Trudy Lite.
I've had an email from William from Newcastle upon Tyne.
Why, aye, Trudy pet. Can you please give me some advice on how to get over my ex-girlfriend cheating on me with my so-called best mate? It hurt me so much that now I find it hard to trust a woman again.
Well, William, I can see that you're taking this very badly. But, as my best friend Dita says, it takes two to tango. I'm not sure where a Brazilian dance comes into it, but it seems unfair to decide to stop trusting only women. Be an equal opportunities cynic. Hasn't your best friend behaved just as badly as your ex-girlfriend? If it makes you feel any better, millions of my viewers all over the world and elsewhere have been through the same thing. So my advice is, don't be heartbroken. There are plenty more fish in the sea. Fish who could become your new girlfriend. And other fish who could turn out to be your... Actually, it's got nothing at all to do with fish. I wish I hadn't started talking about fish. But you take my point. So my advice to anyone who's been cheated on is to rebuild your ability to trust by practicing with a more reliable species than humans, not fish. But perhaps start with a puppy, safe in the knowledge that a puppy would never betray you. Unless there's a toilet roll about, I suppose. Then, when you feel ready, move on to another fluffy animal, strengthening your ability to trust. Then after that, progress to something less trustworthy, like a snake. Yes, a snake. A lithe, flexible, slithery snake with a thick girth and a flicky tongue. Oh, where was I? Oh yes, eventually you'll feel secure enough to start trusting members of your own species again, both male and female. Failing that, you'll have built up a useful rapport with your snake. Now, what's next? Oh yes, Hubert got in touch from Chessington, southwest London.
I'm writing on behalf of a friend. He's having trouble wooing a lady that he really likes. He has tried everything, but she refuses to talk to me. Him. Please, Trudy, your advice would be most welcome.
Well, Hubert, I'm guessing you must be writing on behalf of a particularly close friend, as you seem confused as to who it is you're asking the advice for. You know, it really would have been so much better if your friend had written for himself. You see, successful international celebrity life coaching depends on a subtle and profound analysis of the individual seeking the advice. It's like psychoanalysis, only much cleverer, and not a substitute for the mother's breast. In fact, Sigmund Freud would have been far more successful if he'd had my extraordinary ability to gather information from the way people express themselves, the words they choose, their sentence construction, their lack of adequate punctuation. All these things give me vital clues that enable me to tailor my advice to that individual concerned. So, you see, you writing on behalf of your friend sort of defeats the point. Do you see? If a certain celebrity had written to me directly, rather than getting his friend to do it for him, he would never have felt the need to drive to Sunset Boulevard and get a blowjob off a prostitute. So it really wasn't my fault. Well, never mind. We are where we are, as my best friend Dita says. Actually, I'm in London, and Dita's in New York, and Hubert is in Chessington, where they have a zoo, which is very interesting. They have a fine collection of meerkats there, all perky and furry and... Oh, where was I? Oh yes. The best advice I can give your friend is to do what my millions of viewers all over the world and elsewhere have done, and watch my previous episode where I talk about how to get dates with hot girls. You will pass that on to your friend, won't you? But you see, even this is just guesswork, because I'm working from your interpretation of your friend's problem, rather than a direct statement of the problem from your friend. So, boys and girls, if you have a problem I can help with, however sordid, do write to me directly, won't you? Trudy@trudylite.com. The next email is from Thomas in Ontario, Canada.
I was taught never to hit a woman, and I never would, but that has not stopped women from hitting me. And there are no places about for a man to get away from the abuse.
Well, Thomas, you make a good point. Why is it that so many women today are so aggressive? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm probably one of the biggest feminists in the whole world. But that doesn't mean I feel compelled to go around hitting men, accusing them all of being potential rapists and making their pet fish ride bicycles or whatever it is those militant feminists do. My take on feminism is to champion and uphold everything that is good about femininity. Masculinity and femininity are equally as valuable as each other. To say that one is better than the other is like judging Venus and Mars, though I do think it was one of Paul McCartney's better albums. What I'm trying to say is that masculinity and femininity are two sides of the same coin. It's yin and yang, fire and water, heads and tails. Oh no, hold on, they literally are two sides of the same coin, aren't they? What I'm saying is that it takes two halves to make a harmonious whole. As my best friend Dita says, must not all things at the last be swallowed up in death? Though she has been feeling a bit depressed lately, poor thing. Now, there is a certain type of feminist who believes that in order to attain true equality, a woman must be just as masculine as men. Well, you know what that leads to, don't you? Aggressive women who think they have to go around acting like even bigger dickheads than their male counterpart dickheads in order to get on in life. Other species, genetically similar to humans, have societies that are matriarchal, where femininity holds the power, such as bonobos, those adorable, fluffy little monkeys. Where was I? Oh yes, I have to go now. I don't want to be late for my International Celebrity Life Coach to the Stars workshops with Mariella. She calls them workshops, but thank goodness there isn't a lathe or a vice in sight. The first workshop is about not being bitchy. As my best friend Dita says, if you can't think of anything nice to say about somebody, then don't say anything at all. Although I'm sure she has other reasons for never talking about me. Mariella's second workshop is entitled Don't Be Pretentious, or in other words, Ne soyez pas prétentieuse. See you next time, and remember, keep it light.
If you've been affected by any of the issues in this program, you need to ask yourself some serious questions.